Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. You might be wondering why I'm wearing such a cunning hat. Well, today I'm going to be scenting the crew of Serenity and a sassy little con artist as well. That's right, I'm going to be scenting Firefly characters. So if you'd like to know what I chose and why, then keep watching. First things first, hi, my name is Kristen. I run this channel called Beauty Meow. Still don't know why I named this channel that. And it's a primarily fragrance related channel with fragrance related reviews, discussions, chit chat, and sometimes fun little videos like this. Sometimes a skincare video will sneak in, not very often, but if you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you can be notified when I have new content. And if you like this type of content, please hit the like button. The YouTube algorithm recently has just been horrendous, and I really appreciate the support. Now, scenting characters is something I haven't done in a very long time, years even, and I've only done it, I believe, twice. I think I scented Harry Potter characters, and I also scented the characters from Jane Austen's book, Pride and Prejudice. I am planning on doing other properties, video games, movies, TV shows, comic books, and the like, so if you'd like me to scent some characters from your favorite property, let me know in the comment section below what you would be interested in me scenting. Now, these types of videos, I'm not the first person to do it, nor am I the last person to do it. Scenting videos and just scenting in general across like different platforms like Facebook, Reddit, Fragrantica, and every place. It's a lot of fun, so I just thought this would be awesome. Now, Firefly is one of my favorite shows ever, and I love the genre of science fiction mixed with spaghetti western. I am a brown coat through and through. I've been a fan of this show for almost 20 years, and it's been around for almost 20 years. I think September will be 19 years. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the show, it's about a bunch of misfits on a cargo ship and the antics they get into across the verse. I will be scenting these characters in a variety of different ways. I'm going to be, in some cases, what I think they would choose to wear or why they would choose to wear something specifically, while at the same time I will be going into in-depth. Some of them are kind of tied together, so this will be a chatty video, and I am really excited to share it with you. I do like the scenting videos to be chatty, so if you're unfamiliar with the characters, if you're unfamiliar with the story of Firefly, it goes across a TV series which was unfortunately canceled way too soon. There's comics and a movie, and it's just something I love. I do want to say that I got this hat from Malcom's hat shop. I will link it below. That is not an affiliate link, but probably about 8 years ago, there is a big hubbub within the brown coat community regarding this here cunning hat, and I always like to support fellow brown coats. So if you are looking to get yourself a hat, please check out her below. I think her shop is amazing. So let's get on to the list, and I will also obviously list everybody below as well as their fragrances if you just kind of want to see what I chose without all the chatter. First things first, we're going to be talking about our dear Captain Tight Pants, Malcom Reynolds. I love Captain Reynolds. Specifically, Nathan Fillion is an amazing actor, and I will say, as we go into the scenting video, this is going to be a chatty video too, so again, it's more of a discussion about fragrance and sci-fi and these characters. So again, it's chatty. But Nathan Fillion, I think, was such a perfect choice because I just think how he takes the role of Captain Reynolds is so brilliant, just in those little mannerisms and how he kind of has his body language and his tone of voice. But also just Captain Reynolds in and of itself, to me, is just amazing. I love how he is just so fiercely protective of his family, but at the same time, he's not morally correct every single time. And I like when characters aren't perfect, and Malcom Reynolds isn't perfect, but he is dang awesome, and I love him. So when I was thinking about scenting Captain Reynolds, I was thinking what he would wear, not in regards to more of a conceptual, what would he smell like? And I don't think Captain Reynolds would put too much thought into what he would smell like. And I think he would probably go into a store, pick up something, smell it, I mean, if he was gonna wear a cologne, and look for something that smelled good but didn't have an overtly abundance of presence and power. Now, before I go more into this, I want to let you guys know when I do any type of list, recommendations, top 10s, or scenting videos, I'm scenting from my collection. So I'm choosing fragrances that I own rather than just every single fragrance out there. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to pick a masculine fragrance that smelled really good, was attractive, was easy to understand, but didn't have a lot of presence in regard to being beastly. Captain Reynolds doesn't want to stand out for a variety of different reasons. He just wants to keep flying. He wants to be with his family, his crew, sail across the verse. He doesn't really want to like go into a room and command everyone's attention. He just is folk. He just wants to get by. And so I think he'd probably pick something that smelled good. He wouldn't put too much thought into it, probably the first one that smelled really nice, but would also look for something that didn't command too much attention, but was still complimentary. And I thought that Tumi Awaken would be great. This one smells really nice. It's masculine, semi-sweet. It has some nice aromatics in there. And it's not like crazy powerful, but it's distinctive and it smells good. And I think he'd probably walk if he was in a department store. Pick something up, something that was like on the counter, smell it, be like, I'll take this. And that's how I think he would smell. He's not going to put too much thought into his scent, except for maybe something that smells complimentary, mainstream, and not too powerful, because again, in a lot of cases, he's not trying to gain attention. Now, somebody that's going to put a lot of thought into how they smell in the complete opposite direction is going to be Inara. Inara is a companion. She is high society. She is high class. She is beautiful, sexy, elegant, attractive, alluring, and mysterious. And everything that she does in regards to how she like holds herself in her mannerisms and conversation is all meticulously like calculated, but not in a way that is like mischievous or wrong. She is, you know, trained in the art of seduction and the art of conversation. She knows when to make eye contact and when to look away, when to offer tea, when to offer a conversation, like, and when to move in for the kill and get more clients and build her book. She is beautiful, attractive, and even when she is not working, even when she is not on someone's arm, even when she's just walking around Serenity, when they're flying, going and doing jobs, she's always just meticulously put together. And that's just who she is. Again, when she grew up, the training of companion, she has learned the art of all that. So learning how to dress, how to speak, all of that, smell and her fragrance would definitely, and I mean definitely, be something that she would put a lot of thought into. And my thought is with each client, she would probably have a different fragrance for a different experience. If somebody prefers something more smoky, she'd probably wear something more smoky or more sweet, obviously, depending on her client. But I think for her day-to-day signature scent, she's gonna wear something distinctive, something beautiful, something sexy, something aromatic and attention-grabbing and exotic, but not something that everybody smells like. Again, she's high class. She's gonna wear a fragrance fit for a queen. And I thought Black Jade from Lubin would be a great fragrance for her to wear. Also, if I have reviews of any of these fragrances, I will link them below if you kind of want to know a little bit more. Black Jade is just very sensual, it's very sexy, it's very distinctive, beautifully aromatic, but at the same time, it's not like an in-your-face sex appeal. It's not an in-your-face luxurious fragrance. She doesn't need to be in your face. She's gonna grab you with like every little flutter of her eyelash, every time she moves her hands in her graceful walk. She's been trained from like the top of her head to the tip of her toes in just the art of seduction and attention grabbing. She's a companion. She's a high class, aristocratic lady. And I think that she would put so much more thought into her fragrance. Even the everyday scent she would probably wear just walking around, making little quips at Malcom Reynolds or brushing Kaylee's hair. She's always going to be like tip-top, perfect condition in regards to her hair, her makeup, and her mannerisms, and her fragrance. And I think her everyday scent, her signature scent, would be Black Jade. So speaking of our dear Kaylee, Kaylee to me is the heart and soul of Serenity and the heart and soul of the ship, because she keeps the heart and soul of the ship running. She is the genius mechanic, and she is a young, very confident woman, very playful, very happy, effervescent. Like, she has such an infectious light about her, but she's brilliant and smart, and just at the end of the day, she has such goodness in her. And Kaylee to me is also somebody that's very confident in who she is. She likes ruffles, she likes sweets, she likes cute things, but she is so ridiculously capable whenever she sets around to do something. And one of the things when I was thinking about scenting Kaylee was, do I want to scent her as a mechanic, as a young woman, or do I want to scent, like, what would she buy? Because she would be the type of person to probably treat herself to a fragrance. So I'm not going to be able to say the name of this fragrance very well. I am not good at pronunciation. If you guys are familiar with my channel, I'm going to do my best. So this is from the house of Nobile, 1942, La Danza de Libellule. And I know I mispronounced that. And you're going to wonder, why did I choose this fragrance? If you are familiar with Kaylee, on top of her being a genius mechanic, beautiful, playful, good-hearted, warm, and genuine, she also loves food. And if you think about flying across the verse, you don't get a lot of fresh produce, and she has shown an affinity to strawberries. And my thought is, she loves strawberries. She loves sweet, she loves food. She's not overtly indulgent, but when she gets a chance to enjoy simple pleasures like some fresh fruit, she loves it and she gets so excited. And my thought is if she walked into a shop and she smelled probably one of the best strawberry fragrances out there, creamy, fruity, it's like a big red delicious strawberry, like a shortcake with like whipped cream, but it's a beautiful fragrance. She would smell that and she would want to wear it so she could smell like her favorite food. I truly think she would just want to smell like strawberries. And her personality is also just so fun and playful. I wouldn't say this fragrance is so much playful, but the strawberry in here is just delightful. Kaylee is delightful, so I think she would want to smell like strawberries, and that's why I chose that fragrance for her. One of the hardest characters to scent in this video was actually Zoey. Zoey to me is the same level of, has the same level of competence, intelligence as Kaylee, but is more mature. She's more worldly, she's seen more things. But what I love about Zoey and Kaylee is they're both so true to themselves, but at the same time they have this like power with their personality. Kaylee's power is her cheerfulness. Zoey's power is her strength and intelligence. She is a strong, independent warrior woman who is married to Wash, and I love him, and we will be getting into Wash very much. But what I also loved about Zoey is if you watch the show and the movie and you kind of see her kind of not interacting as like the second in command and this basically grizzled soldier. You see her like loving the sensuality with her husband and also being sassy and understanding her sex appeal. Like, she wants a slinky dress, you know, she understands how beautiful she is. And in all honesty, Gina Torres is one of the most beautiful women that's ever walked this planet. She is stunning. My thought with Zoey is she's not going to wear a fragrance every day. She's not going to be the type of person that's going to put on a perfume and go out and aim to misbehave. What she's going to do is probably wear a fragrance for Wash. And if she's going to wear a fragrance for her husband, she's going to want to wear something sexy and empowering and powerful and just something that's going to command his attention. But it's not going to be safe, but it's going to be strong and like just really hot. And one of my favorite fragrances from the Harmonist is Hypnotizing Fire. And I think she would smell this and like Wash would walk by if she was like smelling it in a shop, and he would make some like, oh, that's my wife, I like the way that smells. And she would buy it and like kind of surprise him by wearing it at night when they're kind of, you know, having a little tumble here and there. And I just think that this smells really sexy, really powerful, really confident. and that's Zoey, but she's also a warrior, and she's intelligent, and she's strong. And even though she is a dedicated wife, she's a fiercely independent woman. And I think to some regards, Hypnotizing Fire smells like all of the above. Now I'm going to be not grouping Wash and Shepard book together, but I'm going to be talking about Wash first and then talking about Shepard book's his fragrance. To me, these two characters, along with Kaylee, are like the ethical conscience of the ship, of the show, of the characters. Not that people are like crazy unethical, but there's a lot of things that happen, you know, being kind of like smugglers and, you know, criminals to some degree, although they are good-hearted, happy family. I feel very much that Wash is one of those people that is just like Kaylee. He's so cheerful. He's not as youthful as Kaylee is. She is young soul, but she is brilliant and intelligent. Wash is a little bit older. He's seen some things, but he's still like a kid at heart. And I think that that kind of youthful playfulness pairs beautifully with Zoey. I think she kind of tames him, and he kind of likes being tamed by the warrior woman. So my thought is Wash is not going to be the type of person, kind of like Captain Reynolds, where he's going to go into a store and spend a lot of time smelling something. But I think unlike Captain Reynolds, who might go for something a little bit sweeter, because you know, he's a softie at heart, I think that being in a cockpit all day, he's just going to want to smell nice, smell a little bit manly to kind of pretend that he's got some type of pants in this relationship. But at the same time, he's going to want to wear something that's going to please Zoey, and she doesn't seem like the type of person that's going to want to go for something sweeter. I mean, although Awaken from Tumi isn't a sweet fragrance, she seems like more of an earthy scent. So I think he would go for Vetiver from Guerlain, just because this Vetiver in this is really bright and grassy and green, and this type of fragrance works really well indoors or outdoors, hot or cold climates. And I mean, he's in the cockpit most of the time, but I think for the most part, this is how he's going to like to smell. Vetiver is a great scent, and it has a lot of complexity to it, just depending on the scent and how it's mixed and its composition. And I think he would just go for something like this, manly, easy to wear, but at the same time has a little bit of distinction to it. Now, Shepard book is a different example. Shepard book has a mysterious past, and I will say that in the movie, if you haven't watched Serenity, spoilers, I bawled my eyes out when Shepard book died. I stayed away from everything when I watched this movie. I was expecting one person to die, so when Shepard book passed, I was heartbroken, but I was devastated because I was not expecting Wash to go, and ooh, that hurt. That hurt so bad. Anyway, I was bawling in the theater with like snot coming out of my nose. Like, it was like not a cute cry. It was uncomfortable for everybody around me sobbing. Shepard book has this mysterious past, and he is, you know, a shepherd, he is a pastor, he is alluded at like Christianity within the show, but he's not an outright like person who's throwing his religion in everybody's face, but he does kind of like to play around and be kind of sassy. I love how he is so serious, especially in the beginning, but he has some of the funniest moments of the show, and also some of the most profound, not in regards to Christianity, but somebody's religion and how you interact in the world in regards to believing in something, just believe. And I think that he's such a strong character because he has this like, albeit a very sketchy past, very mysterious, very guarded, but he is just also so warm and so just capable. And I love seeing how he is one of the first people that's kind of like, you're not welcome on my ship, or like, you're welcome on my ship, but your God isn't. And he becomes like, I would say, one of the closest friends to Captain Reynolds, and one of the most like beloved characters just on the show. He has a worldliness to him, and he's seen things and he's done things, and you can tell that he's moving past that in a very genuine, honest way. So for me, Shepard book, like Wash, has a playfulness to him, but he's been beaten down, and he might be beaten down based on past jobs, past history. He might have just seen things and decided, I can't do this anymore, and had followed a different path. So I chose this fragrance not so much as something Shepard book would wear, but to me it has more complexity, more depth, tells more of a story than Guerlain Vetiver. But I find Wash and book to not be so much like the same, but kind of like somebody really young in their life and somebody more kind of like grizzled and mature and has more experience. And so I thought Vetiver 46 from Labo would be a great scent for book. I didn't think Shepard book would wear kind of like an anointing oil fragrance. I think he would want to wear something that was distinctive, that had more mystery and depth to it, but something, again, that's not going to be so crazy in your face. And I think that Vetiver 46 was one of the first fragrances that came to mind when I was thinking of kind of pairing the basically the effervescent, youthful cheerfulness of Wash with the like cheerful kind of more experienced cynicism of Shepard book, while they're both being very playful, very good people. And even though Shepard book has like a solemnness to him, he is also like, he's sassy. He's a sassy guy, and I love his sassy moments in the show. Specifically a very special hell. I do not think that any of the men, aside from probably Simon, are going to put too much thought into their fragrance. But we do know that our dear Jane, oh boy, he would want to at least smell what he thinks is sexy. So he is rough around the edges, a big teddy bear. He'll sell you out for $1, but then he'll feel really bad about it. I love his character. I love how stupid he is. I love how genuine he is. Even when he's telling a lie, he's really bad at it, but he's also fiercely protective too. He's kind of like, weirdly, the prodigal son. Like, he's angry and gruff around the edges and a few other things that I'm not going to say in this video because I don't want it to be demonetized. But for the most part, he does want people to think highly of him. Now, I don't think that he would spend a lot of money on his fragrance, because I think he'd want to spend money on other things, which I'm not going to say out loud. But I do think that he would probably go to some type of cheapy store, some type of Ross or TJ Maxx, see something on the counter, think that the name of the brand is a reputable brand and you can get it for a steal, and say, I'm going to smell like that and smell like that. And so I thought, what is a fragrance that I see in a lot of like TJ Maxx's and Ross's that smells good, isn't like a crazy profound fragrance, but doesn't smell bad, that he would probably like, and the type of company he likes to keep on his, you know, his own time would also not be dissuaded by. And weirdly enough, it was from Banana Republic, Black Walnut. I think he'd know Banana Republic was a higher end brand. He'd want something from them. He'd buy the fragrance for like $12 and he'd wear it and his lady friends would enjoy it. So I definitely think the hero of Canton would enjoy that scent. And again, I don't think he'd put too much thought into it. All the gentlemen in this show have more important things to do than decide on what to wear in regards to fragrance. But if they were to wear a scent, I think that they would have different reasons for purchasing, and that's kind of my reasoning for choosing those fragrances. Now, the one person that I would definitely put some type of thought into it, because he does put a lot of thought into everything, is Simon. Simon and River are some of the most complex characters I think ever. And I love how Simon has this protectiveness of River. He is a brilliant surgeon. He comes from money and education and high society. He basically walks in the same circle as Inara, and that's why, like, when I talk about the fragrance, they're gonna kind of not be the same fragrance or the same composition, but kind of relate a little bit. But I think he is also, unlike how Kaylee is more youthful, but also independent and very intelligent and mature, Simon, in all respects, has more education, like more of an actual education, but he is at times so emotionally and just socially stunted. And seeing everybody kind of interact with that is amazing. So Simon is the type of person who would probably go into a very high-end shop with his family, and he would buy a fragrance, and he wouldn't care about the name, and he wouldn't care about the price. So it doesn't have to be super expensive, but it has to smell distinctive. And my thought is in the world, in this verse, there's gonna be like aromatics and spices, and not so much like vanilla and woods, but like spices and food is something that's very much throughout all of human history, has started some of the bloodiest wars out there. And I thought spicy aromatic fragrances, not peppery spicy, but aromatic spices like cardamom and coriander and cinnamon, nutmeg, cumin, these type of spices that would probably be hard to get your hands on, in a sense, would be a distinction of higher society. So when I was thinking about fragrances, I didn't want to pick obviously something from like Raja or Clive or Xerjoff. I wanted to pick something that not too many people talk about, but still smells amazing. And I really love La Fumee Ottoman from Miller Harris. This does not smell exactly like Black Jade, but it has that aromatic kind of spiced experience to it that I think smells very distinguished, very elevated, but at the same time smells like the type or style or trend of fragrances that people in higher society within this universe would wear. They'd probably, in my opinion, be chasing after some of these more expensive, hard to come by scents with these hard to come by notes. Wood is everywhere. You can get citrus, you know, just about anywhere, but spices. I just think spices for the longest time have been so sought after, and I don't think that they would not continue to be sought after. And in a way, such as something like scent, I think within high society, it would be something that would be sought after. And that's why I love this fragrance. It's very distinguished. It's very sexy. It's smooth and sweet, but not like a sugar sweetness. Very aromatic. And I think that this kind of smells along the same trend line as Black Jade. And that's why I think he wouldn't care what brand it came from or what price, but the fact that it has like that spicy, aromatic kind of feel to it, I think that that style of perfumery would be popular, and I think that he would smell that and like it. It smells very high class. Now, River is the other kind of harder character like Zoey. There's a lot in regards to, she wouldn't purchase a fragrance. She wouldn't care about a fragrance. She would much rather play with Kaylee or dance and sing. She is the capable, gifted gift of the show. She is their albatross. And I think that as you learn more about River, who she is, who her family is, who her brother is, who her new family is, the role that she kind of grows into with the crew, and how she basically kind of scares them and they love her and they push her away. Oh, there's a lot that happens in this show. I don't think that she would choose a fragrance. However, I think that Simon, if he were going to gift her with a scent, because he likes to dress her up like a Gorham doll, I think he would choose something that was high class, because again, even though she is her own person and she's had her own struggles in regards to being brainwashed and conditioned by the Alliance, she's still, you know, to Simon, his little sister, his precious, you know, the most important person in his life. And I think he would choose something that was kind of earthy and beautiful and different and mysterious, but still smelled like, again, very high class. And I don't know why, but I went from Hiram Green, Arbole, Arbole. This fragrance just kind of stuck out to me because there's something mysterious. It has layers, but it's also easy to understand once you understand what's going on within it. And I think this is the type of fragrance that he would just kind of want to smell on her, because I think it's easy to smell, it's beautiful, and it's also comforting too. And I think he would want to comfort her and want to be comforted by her, you know, as like his little sister, you know, those familial ties that he has. And I think that he gave up everything, and I don't think he views himself as giving up everything. I think he views himself as gaining everything by saving her. And I think that comfort and familiarity within, like, you know, kind of maybe smelling a little bit more higher end is something that he would want River to smell like. Not for her, but maybe more for him. Last and certainly not least, she is not technically part of the crew, but oh, do I love her. Oh man, our darling Mrs. Reynolds, Saffron. Saffron is not just a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, con woman. She has had training, like companion training, like Inara. So we don't know if she was trained by maybe a companion that got kicked out of the academy. We don't know where, how, what, how she got her training. But she has like that art of seduction, the art of conversation, on top of being an intelligent, conniving con woman. So although Inara can be manipulative with her conversation and her mannerisms, she's basically playing a part for her clients. She knows that when people pay her, they are paying her for the experience of having a companion. And a part of that is an elegance and sophistication, and also, you know, being a companion. For me, Saffron has taken all of the education and none of the respectability and kind of used it to her own advantages, while also being a ridiculously beautiful woman. So I don't think that Saffron would choose a fragrance that did not meet her needs. So I think depending on the situation, depending on the scheme, she's obviously going to have a different fragrance. But I also think that generally to gain the attraction, to kind of catch her prey, generally because she is a beautiful woman and she is using her womanly wiles to get her way, albeit trapping Malcolm Reynolds in a marriage, or just, you know, scheming across the verse. I mean, who knows what kind of trouble she's getting herself in now. I think it's important to know that she's going to, again, like Inara, put so much thought into her fragrance. And I think for her, she's not going to want to smell like everybody else. She's going to want to smell very strong. She's going to want to make an impression. And she's also going to want to be intoxicating, sexy, complimentary, attractive. She's going to want a bold, powerful, sexy scent that, again, not everyone's going to wear. And I think that Oud Bouquet from Lancôme is how she would want to smell. It's sexy, it's strong, it's delicious, and it grabs your attention. And that is what she's going to do to start her, you know, to start her con, to catch her prey. I think she's going to wear something that is dang intoxicating, alluring, and you can't get your mind off of it. And while you are distracted by her womanly wiles and how beautiful she smells, she's going to steal everything and send you into a crazy magnetic death trap. And you're not going to care because you had this fun experience with her. She is just fun from start to finish. She's delightful. I love Saffron. So that is it, guys. That is me scenting the crew and our darling Mrs. Reynolds from Serenity, Firefly, the TV show. There's obviously the comics and the movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, I wanted to start editing better by having like music and videos, but kind of like what I was talking about this hat, this property for the longest time was like neglected in regards to just, you know, merchandise, and just neglected in general. And then they decided to go really crazy and kind of, again, with the whole hat situation, if you understand it, I just don't trust that my video wouldn't be taken down if I even showed one image for a second or played the music to the show. Because one of the things I loved about the show is how brilliant the soundtrack is, the music is. I think one of the things that I love about the show is very much like that. One of the scenes that I just find so funny in the pilot, consider it the pilot, is when like Malcom goes to Simon, and it's when Kaylee was shot, and he says if she dies, you're getting shoved off the ship. And like Malcom goes to talk to Kaylee when she's in the medical bay, and she goes to sleep and drops her hand, and it looks like she died. And then there's a situation with Inara and Simon, and they're talking, and obviously Malcom Reynolds is super protective of Inara, and then he says something like, oh, she's dead, and there's just this book is like walking, and there's this beautiful solemn music, and the music is always so like specific and perfect, and Simon slow-mo's running in, and then you see Kaylee, and she's like, hey, and then like Simon is just like, he's psychotic, and then it's just, the music goes away, and then everyone else is laughing in the cockpit, and I love that moment because it's so funny, and it kind of shows how like the interactions with the crew are going to work through the series. Like basically Simon is an outsider, and even though Shepard book starts off as an outsider, he's more readily taken in by Captain Reynolds and more family than Simon, at least in the beginning. And it's just this funny situation where I always thought it was hilarious because it just goes from like really solemn, really dark with this beautiful touching score, and then just everybody hilariously laughing. I love it. The other thing I like too is being like, I like a variety of different types of shows. I love seeing the actors like paired up in different like shows and series. And one of the things that I loved was I was rewatching Warehouse 13 when my mom came to stay with us after the accident. We're like watching, like she's a huge Star Trek fan, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. We're both like, you know, Whovians. But we were rewatching, we watched Eureka because we wanted her to watch it because we thought she'd like it, and then we started watching Warehouse 13 because it's the same universe. And I was joking, I'm like, it's the same universe, but here's Zane and Joe from Eureka, even though it's the same universe, they look, you know. And then what I love is they have like Simon and Kaylee in there, and they also had Captain Janeway. I love seeing all the actors everywhere. I love it. So anyway, that's a little bit of a tidbit, but I think that, yeah, it's like, I love these types of shows. I love Firefly specifically. I think when I got my first apartment, I had like, you know, some action figures, and my room was plastered with Firefly posters and stuff. I've been a fan of the show forever. I think it's fantastic. So anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping your ears off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to know, do you agree with my choices? Do you think that these are bad choices? Do you think that I should have chose something else? Or how would you scent if you guys are brown coats, or if you support unification? Who would wear what and why? Let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know what other properties you guys would like me to scent. I am planning on doing Warhammer, World of Warcraft. I'm planning on doing Game of Thrones, more literature, expanding on different things. I have a lot of plans. Doctor Who I'm really excited. I think what I'm gonna do is do 2 different videos for Doctor Who. I'm gonna scent all the doctors, and then I'm gonna scent all the companions. I have a lot of plans for doing more fictional fragrance videos because they're a lot of fun. So I'm gonna end this video here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next time.